I don't think I do it.
But Arsenal started like house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you are all doing well. Before we begin, as is always the case, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. I wanted to put something out. Well, no, this news broke earlier whilst I was out, and I was like, yo, I need to do something. So, you know, I've got the kids tonight, so that's why it's a little bit later than normal, but I promised myself that I would get it out. And naturally, I was tagged in a lot of stuff by people, so people want to hear my thoughts, reaction to the breaking news, if you like, that Leeds United are after 3. Well, I say they're after 3. They have 3 targets for the centre-forward striker position. We'll have a chat about who we believe they are. There's not just, you know, the main talking point tonight that Georginio Rutter seems to be the one that's number 1 on that list and maybe is a little bit further down the road than any of us would have anticipated. It has the potential to be our record transfer, higher than what we played for Brendan Aronson in the summer, which is good. That's positive. We'll have a chat about how we think that money's become available and why they're willing to pay X amount for Rutter. There's loads of different permutations, facets to it, right? I've had a good chat with my good friend Gary as well, and he brought a few things to light that I thought, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he makes quite a lot of sense, actually. He got bounced with thoughts off some people. Yeah, so we're going to talk about Rutter and the potential of these other striker targets, whoever they may be. But I think Rutter's number 1. Heavily well thought of, playing obviously in the Bundesliga for Hoffenheim. We've had the likes of Joel Linton and Firmino come through there and come to the Premier League and do well. Maybe not score hatfuls, and Rutter's record in the Bundesliga doesn't like jump out here from, you know, statistical numbers like, wow, this guy's scoring a lot of goals, say, as someone like Gyökeres might be doing in the Championship. But I've said it before when we've spoken about Shea, you know, even Bamford to an extent, you know, he's had that one profitable season, but outside of that, never got big numbers. But I'm not sure we are... What the point I'm trying to make is, if you're expecting a 20-goal a season striker, they're not out there. They don't exist. I think there's only been a handful of players that have got more than 20 goals in the Premier League. It's so difficult to score 20 goals in the Premier League. You need them shared about. But someone, you know, like Rutter, some of the clips that I've seen, this is the good thing with Rutter, you can tell he's well thought of because you've got some really high-end German journals, but also people that maybe work out there or have an opinion on the Bundesliga, all like, wow, yeah, Rutter, what a buy that would be for Leeds United. And let's be honest, you know, and this is what I was talking about with Gaz before, Leeds United have been close or definitely down the road with signings of the ilk of Joseph Gvardiol. We couldn't get that done. He stayed at Leipzig. He's now going to go to a top European club. Cody Gakpo is another that we couldn't get done. He's now at Liverpool. CDK, people say, oh, we dodged a bullet, blah, 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 blah. It's BS. Yeah, he's not doing well out there, but trust that, like, he will go on to have a good career, whether that's at AC Milan or not. So Leeds United are trying to get these players. So I guess my point is, a lot of top clubs already have eyes on Gakpo, already have eyes on Rutter, for example, but they don't want him. They need success now, right? So do they, in a way, allow maybe a lesser team, and that's where we are now, bring them over and say, right, okay, yeah, now we'll take them. You know, Liverpool have pushed the button on Gakpo because of their issues on the left-hand side with no Jota coming back, Diaz out longer. And obviously, Cody did it at the World Cup as well and absolutely smashed it. So they were like, right, yeah, now's the time. Now's the time. You know, because in the summer, it was Southampton and Leeds that were close. Now, Southampton are bottom of the Premier League and we're just outside the relegation zone. Do you see what I'm saying? In 6 months, he hasn't suddenly turned into a world beater. He was always very good. His numbers were always great in the Eredivisie, but there's a difference between that and, you know, the Premier League. You know, Man United's recruitment's a bit scattergun anyway. I mean, it sounds like they're signing Wout Weghorst. I mean, he might go and do well there, but it smacks of the Igalos to me. You know, when they signed Igalo after he'd been at Watford, Weghorst didn't do it at Burnley, so I'm not sure how he will do it at Man United. But anyway, that's them. That's their shtick. But what I'm saying is, I guess your counter argument could be, well, Man United tried signing, but their recruitment's not something to behold, if you know what I mean. So Liverpool have obviously seen how well he's done in the World Cup, have issues on the left-hand side, right? Yeah, let's bring him in now, as opposed to seeing what he's like maybe if he came to a different club in the Premier League. I don't know. It's just guesswork, but you can sort of see the thinking behind it. It was the same with the Gvardiol, who, you know, all these names. And Rutter, you could argue, with his age profile, what's being spoken out of him, it is a hefty price. But again, much like CDK would have been a hefty price, it's also, it becomes a business decision as well, because the club will probably look at someone like Rutter and say, well, do you know what, we'll make money on this. You know what I mean? We will definitely make money on it. He's 20-year-old, well thought of. You know, bring him to the club. He smashes it in the Premier League. We're going to, you know, get double what we've paid for him. And that's what our ownership is about. You know, this was one of the arguments or conversations I got into a lot during the summer with the CDK stuff. When that offer brought down, everyone was like, yeah, but we've still got 30 million sloshing about, so go get someone else. But the club don't see it like that. You know, I was speaking, what's up, man? Vocab today. I was speaking with Jer yesterday, and he was talking about, you know, maybe a more experienced midfielder, but the reality is this football club's not going to do that, because they're not going to splash out money on an individual that they're not going to get no return on investment for, you know, because them players that are a little bit more experienced, that have Premier League experience, cost not only, maybe not so much in a transfer fee, but in terms of the wages that they'll command. Whereas I had a look a little bit earlier on Capology. According to Capology, I'll share all this information because there's loads of articles, there's loads for us to go through, and we'll do it. But Rutter on Capology, just bear with us 1 sec, I did have it there. Apparently he's only on about 10 grand a week at the minute. Like Leeds might give him 40, 50. Do you know what I mean? It's not massive. Yeah, Herbie. Yeah. I've been looking. No, I'm not playing with your emotions, folks. I'm definitely not. This seems like it's close. I don't dare say close, because we've been in this situation before. I think for me, we have to ensure that the club don't balls it up, because them names that I mentioned earlier, the club ballsed up, you know. The club balls them up, and people will come back and they'll say, I know we were never in for Rodrigo de Paul, or we were never in for this person, you know, the club said so. Well, of course they're going to say that. But we need to not balls this one up, because it sounds like it's quite close. And we're going to go through the news breaking. We're going to talk on a few defenders and that as well, that's in the transfer ether, if you like. I'm conscious of using the word rumour mill, because that's Connor's thing, but in the transfer rumour mill, if you like. Big shout out to Gabe as well, who does some stuff on One Leeds, supporter of the channel. Thank you for your super chat. He says, clutch coverage from Joe. Buy-ups. Are you concerned about this much money over a prospect, over a proven Prem striker for that much? What I would say in response to that, Gabe, who do you get that's proven at that price in the Premier League? And again, it comes back to that business model that also then you could then get a return on investment on. That's the way the club are looking at it. That's the only reason they were going to get CDK, folks. Because if it weren't about that, they'd have just spunked it elsewhere, but they didn't, you know. And, you know, I know Victor gets a lot of stick, rightly so for some. I really like him. Out of that trinity, if you like, that holy trinity of Rads, Angus and Victor, he's the only one that would stick around for me personally. I would still like to see him with a bit more cash and the purse strings up and a little bit more. But his young signings, you know, people, oh, well, what about this? What about that? Let's not forget He signed Melier. He signed Pascal Struijk, you know. William Nonto, who now, by the way, at 4-5 million looks an absolute steal. Like Melier, 5 million. £5 million. I don't even know what we paid for Pascal off the top of my head. Someone let me know in the comments. But Pascal, do you know what I mean? So his youth pickups, even Greenwood, Joffy, you know, all these names were all really, really cheap, you know. Gaz is a knob. Big up to Gary Devonport, yeah. It's nice to see him in the chat as well. We'll get him back at some point. He was supposed to be on Monday's show, but oh, here we go. Juan Martinez says the deal is. People are saying, is it credible? Well, when Juan Martinez gets on it, you know it's credible. Yeah. My man's on. He's going to be on soon as well. We're going to get him back. Yeah, Alfie, it is. I've seen you put right at the start BS, but no, it seems to me from a lot of the sources that it's coming from, without it actually being signed, sealed, delivered. It's not on Stevie Wonder stage yet, but it seems to be a lot further down the road than you. The reason I say that as well, okay, it hasn't had the Fabrizio seal of approval, but what it has had is a lot of the Yorkshire-based journalists, you Phil, you Graham, are all retweeting this tweet from this guy, which gives it that seal of approval. I think his name is Florian, just one sec, Florian Pettigrew. Pronunciation's not my strong point, but Rutter's right easy, so that's a good thing. Florian Plettenberg was the one. He's got the verified tick, but that doesn't mean she can buy them now. Ronan Murphy as well. I think Ronan Murphy on a few occasions has brought some decent stuff as well. He's then gave it, and this, like I say, I think it's got legs. I do think it's got legs. Hey mate, you think new owners are coming in the summer? Yes. 49ers, yes. Do you know what though? This is another thing as well, like that Joe mentioned. If you have a chance to go watch Joe's video that he did with the 49ers guy, check it out. But apparently, I don't know, I'm not saying this is 100% bang on, like, you know, set in stone, but apparently the CDK stuff was going to be funded by the 49ers, and that amount of money would have come off what they'd have had to pay for in the summer when they buy out the club. I don't know if this is similar to that, because it does make you wonder, where's the money coming from? But at the same time, you know, Rads isn't skin, is he? But it costs a lot of money to run a football club, if you like. But I think, because I say it's a business decision, you get return on investment, but Rads won't be here for that return on investment. So maybe, you know, there is some 49ers input there. I don't know, like, I'm not going to profess to know, but I just remember Joe saying that guy said that there was, I guess, a conversation had with 49ers when it came to CDK. Maybe they'd have taken that out. Yeah, Benny, that's fine, mate. But you know, it's nice to speculate and chat, isn't it? That's the whole point of this video. If it's not for you, then put EastEnders on or something, bro. I don't know what's on at this time of night. Happy Valley, go watch Happy Valley. I know that's on Sunday, but if you haven't watched that, watch it. It's brilliant, by the way. Right, so what we're going to do first of all, then, because like I said, there has been so many articles, and again, this just gives it that sort of credibility for me. The fact that people are, you know, this. Oh, here's an article. It isn't just like something, you know, just flash in the pan. It seems. There you go. I Am Drill says, I am an Austrian Leeds fan, and the source is the best source from Germany and Austria. Florian Pletti knows everything. Rutter will come to Leeds. So thank you very, very much for that. If we get relegated in the summer, would the 49ers? Well, Joe also said, watch Joe's YouTube. It's called Leeds United The View. Leeds United The View. Go check it out. It's really insightful. It is really, really good. He said there's also a clause in there that if they do get relegated, the value is massively less than what they would have to play if they were in the Premier League. The Middle Eastern stuff, Fred's, it's codswallop. It's a load of BS. It's a load of BS for me, because there's no actual meat on the bones when it comes to the story. It's like the Pochettino stuff. I didn't even know about that. I missed it, but yeah, it's BS. Definitely BS. So yeah, right, okay. So first of all, before we get to Rutter, and the reason I'm talking about this now, I know everyone's obviously, on Rutter at the minute and the striker hunt and all that sort of stuff. But I listened to the Inside Ellen Road podcast yesterday when I was on my walk, and Graham Smith, I'm not saying he's supposed to keep this a secret, but he did say, John says, when are you going to get round to putting up that shelf? I probably think it's bits on my screen. I know, bullet holes, right? I'm getting something made to go there. I'm just, actually, while I'm here, I have a PNG image, right? I need it to be a vector. Can anyone help me with that? Because the PNG image, I've been told, is all pixels, and they need it to be lines. So basically, I'm having my logo made as a sign, if you like, an LED sign to go behind me, so that it's like it gives light as well. Do you know what I mean? But the image, they can't use PNGs. So if anyone can, because I know some of you will be, I don't know what they called. I don't even know what they called when you get. I don't even do my thumbnails. I pay for someone. So, what they called? I don't know. It's late. Florian Plettenberg just tweeted again. Check it out. Right, let's go there. Tom, I don't have that. Ollie said nerds. That's what you call them. That's a good shout. You and Steady have a shout out? Yeah. Who's Steady? Steady Eddie? Big up to Dan as well. Dan's doing the walk this year, the charity walk, the 92 miles for charity, where we're going from Goodison Park this year to Ellen Road. Stopping in Halifax, my own time. Graphic designer, Robert, that's what I needed. Yeah, I seen the super chat, Justin. The fact that you keep asking me that, bro, you're normally here all the time, which means you miss me addressing the super chat. So what were you doing in that 5 minutes that I was discussing that? Why were your eyes not on this screen? Yeah, graphic designer. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Are there any graphic designer that can make my PNG image into a vector? I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, Robert. You drop me a message, bro, because I don't know if you could drop me in a message. That'd be great. Right. Okay. So Pletty goal. Right, so this is breaking news. We'll go to this first of all before we go back, right? There's loads for us to go through. I need to get notifications on this Pletty dude's tweets. You can see all the articles at the top I've got going there. So Florian Plettenberg has just tweeted this very moment to say, next talks about his possible transfer to Leeds took place today. Leeds is pushing for him, and the player can really imagine to make the step to the Premier League at this stage of his young career. Talks about 30 to 40 million transfer fee. So that's really, really good news, right? So talks are progressing. Apparently the player is big on it as well. So yeah, that's a positive. That it looks, like I said, that it is close and could get done. Let's hope it does. Rutter is great, says Mitamor Khan Satakazai. Tom says that sounds like a step back. What does? Leeds winning the league now, Joe. Rutter top scorer. I don't know. Like, I've had a few people mention about his actual numbers are not that great. Boys, don't start with me. These two have been doing my tits in today, by the way. They've just come up to cause a scene. Don't, boys. The dogs are in the house. You replied to a tweet saying we've made a bid with the thumbs up. There you go. So I think it's quite, down the road. But let's go back to what I was originally talking. There's so much, and we'll get through it all as best we can. Thank you all for being here. And if you haven't already, please do smash a like on the video. Make sure you've smashed a like. I'm going to check how many likes there is now. they best be smashed. I'll be back tomorrow as well at about 1 for the watch along of Cardiff versus Leeds in the FA Cup. Please, no, I don't know if you can call it a giant killing, but he's trying to fuck him. Will you stop it? Tell me, man. Sorry. My dog's homosexual. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't understand why I've got homosexual dogs. I think the best thing is when they are humping fresh air. I don't know if you've ever seen them do that, but like Billy will go and put his he'll put his paws on him, be nowhere near his orifices, and just start going like this in midair. I'm like, what are you doing? Boys, man, stop it. They managed to get back in. Sorry. He always professional here. Sorry. Boys, man, pack it in. Don't be bringing your German Shepherd anywhere near my dogs. They're too tiny. Boys, I'm serious. Right, one of yours is going out. Marco, go. No, she'll knock at the door. Billy, you go, mate. Go on. You're a good lad. Go on, Marco. Out you go. Have sex out on landing. Yeah, they're fighting over dominance. There you go. So, yeah, I've had to separate them, the food balls now as well. They used to eat next to each other. Now they can't, because when Billy's done, boom, Billy goes over to Wiz, and then next thing they're like, so yeah. Thanks, Ben, about that. Cheers, bro. The dogs are out of the room now, but they're at the top of the stairs. So if they wake Harry up, I might even have to end the stream. But let's get back. I originally went over to YouTube to check the likes. We've got 174. There's 472 watching. So if you haven't already, please do smash a like on the video for me. Yeah, it'd be great if you could do that. Kev says, I'm a Leeds fan, but live in Coventry. Please, Leeds by Victor Gyökeres. Well, we're going to talk about that because Graham Smith's done an article tonight to say my crack was on stream then. It better not have been. It better not have been. There are three strikers in the hunt. Right. Oh, is it Huang Hee-chan? There you go, Huang Hee-chan. Right. Get back to some serious chatter now, right? We've all had our fun, haven't we? So back to what Graham Smith said yesterday on the Inside Ellen Road podcast. He mentioned that Leeds always wanted to get a left back, a left-sided defender, and a striker. And the crack was open. That is disgusting. I'm really, really sorry that happened. I've got my Jama bottoms on as well. And a Jama top Mandalorian. I can't believe that. Fabrizio Romano's give it the here we go. I don't believe you. Let me look. If Fabrizio's give it, like, then we might be on. You're lying to me, aren't you? Ethan's lying. Why are you lying for, Ethan? Why have you done that? That's not normally your style, Ethan. I'm disappointed in you, mate. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Right. Okay. There's an offside. You're talking about Wolves Liverpool, yeah? Sheff Wednesday beat Newcastle, didn't they? Joe's a big Star Wars fan. I am, mate. I am. I didn't realise it was out, so maybe I'm not that big of a not that big. That is disgusting, right? I'm really, really sorry that was he's gone back. He's gone back. Johnny's gone, let's go back. Let's see the crack. It's Just Joe After Dark. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Is it Hollyoaks After Dark? OnlyFans Joe, that was. There you go. You normally have to pay for that content, but you could. Right, okay. So right, okay. Let's get back. Stop talking about that stuff now, right? So yeah, Graham Smith said about Andy, you're right. This little part of me wants to find it. All right. Oh no. God. Oh, I'm sorry. Christopher, I can't read that out, bro. I can't read that out. Oh no. Yeah, I can't read that out because it's probably one of them that you try to trick me with. I'm trying to say it now, but yeah, it's a good job I did, isn't it? Right, okay. So, talk of left-sided centre-back, left back and a striker. Now, it says here Leeds United are in a transfer battle alongside Dortmund and Lazio. This is for Netherlands player Milos Kerkez. Spoke about this briefly yesterday with JUSTJOE on his video. Does anyone, I'm going to ask the chat now, does anyone think we will get an additional left back? Because he's the one that's been mentioned. So I'm going to ask the chat. So there's a poll in the chat now. There's 500 people here. So if you can, please do vote in the poll. I want to know if you think Leeds United, because if they do give us a striker and we do get, well, we've already got Vorber in the door, is it too much to ask for a left back? You know, if Vorber is going to play at centre back. So yeah, let me know. And while we do that, we'll have a little bit of a further deep dive into the left back that is being linked, which is Milos Kerkez. Obviously, it says here, believed to be keen to add to the squad after signing Vorber. He said, we have targets, I think we're smart enough to know that in order to achieve our goals, we want to continue to look at every position and think about how we can move forward in the right way. We are definitely seeing the change now of this squad. And Theo said, we haven't had a left back since Charlie Taylor. Exactly. It has been that long, hasn't it? What you've got to remember is as well, this is a good point about the age profile of some of these players and the price that we'd have to pay for them. So if we go on to Transfermarkt and look at Milos, I'm all over the shop, Milos Kerkez, his actually market value is around about 7 million, which, to be fair, it's not a lot of money for a Premier League club. Because what you've got to remember is as well, at this football club, apart Firpo aside, we do not have a specialised left back even underneath the first team squad. It's like Leeds United, you walk around Leeds and there's just no left backs. Do you know what I mean? Anywhere. So maybe that's another reason why we could look at Kerkez. I mean, his statistical data in terms of the percentiles on FBref are all green, which is always good, apart from progressive passes, which is not great, is it? Here's some of the players that he is close to statistically, but again, if you look at them, there's a few championship players in there, right? So maybe you can bring in someone like him for a low price, if you like, with the hope of bringing him on, if you like, later on down the line. I'm not too sure, but Leeds United are very, very short in the left back area. Look, I don't know how strong this link is, and normally I wouldn't have spoke about it, but yesterday when I heard about Graham Smith, I think it's probably a slip of the tongue because he would just report that, but he mentioned three. He said left-sided, left back, and striker, because they were talking about Click, his exit, and the potential of maybe bringing in a centre midfielder, which we don't think the club will do. But he mentioned that, and I was like, oh, right, okay. It plucked my ears, if you like. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not too sure. Let's see what the poll says. 58% have said left back, yes. Now, you do know that was saying, do you think the club will do it? Not, do we need one? Maybe I should have put that. I don't think we'll go out and get another left back. I think if they got us a striker, genuinely before the window opened, I was unsure. So if they got us a striker and they've got us Vorber, then I'm nice. I am happy, I am happy. Someone's going on a big fee, surely, says Simon. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. Who's going to go? I'm not too sure. No, I don't think so. Right, so that's the left back. Then obviously 9 hours ago now, is that how long it was, man? That seems like an age, doesn't it? But 9 hours ago, Florian Plattenberg broke the news that Leeds want him now. Yeah, I spoke to Gary Devonport, formerly of Talking Shut, who has many contacts, trust me. Like, I'm not trying to like big him up as ITK or anything here, and he won't appreciate me saying that. But Gary does have, he's almost detective like in terms of getting these contacts and speaking to people who know things. And one of the people, he won't mind me sharing this information. One of the people who he knows who covers the Bundesliga had said, look, if Leeds don't get him now, then the opportunity's gone because he'll go to another big club in Europe in the summer. And that's the thing, isn't it? Then I'll dial it back to what we said right at the start. Gakpo, Gvardiol, all these are signings that Leeds were close to, missed out. Now they've gone to top clubs, or are out of our price range. I know Gvardiol's still at Leipzig and probably will move in the summer for a big hefty fee, but Leeds United are not even in that conversation. So maybe it is the right deal to get it done now. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, that opportunity might be missed. That was then given the seal of approval, like I say, by Ronan Murphy. He said, I flagged him as one of the Bundesliga players to watch at the start of the season. He's a huge talent. But the fee of 30 to 40 million seems more tied to potential rather than current ability. So if we actually have a look here at Georginio Rutter's transfer market value, it's 16 million. Now, obviously, he's making that point that he's not worth 30 to 40 million right now. But they're buying it with the obviously lurking notion that he's going to go for more than that when he comes to the Premier League and, you know, performs how they expect him to perform. Yeah. So that's the point that Ronan Murphy's making there, in the sense that he's not saying, oh, they're overpaying for him, he's not worth it. Obviously, he has the potential to be there. And that's what Leeds are going to be paying for, potential, as opposed to his current value now. But obviously, it's what a player is worth to Hoffenheim. You know, they'll say, we know this guy is going to be a great player, so therefore we're going to ask X amount. It's like Leeds United with Melier, for example. If some of the clubs that are linked to him, like Bayern Munich, and that, is he going to be number one straight away? No, but we'd still be wanting a hefty fee that you would probably pay for a number one, because it's like eventually he will be, and he'll go on to win everything. He could end up winning a World Cup, because that France side is unbelievable. And of course, Rutter is French as well. You know what I mean? So potential French international there. I don't know what his... Yeah, so he's played. I'm just looking here. He has played all the way through the French international setup as well. You can see there, obviously, all the way from under 15s right up to under 21s. So you'd imagine he comes to the Premier League. I mean, listen, to get into the national side, it's rock hard. A lot of players do play in the unders, don't they, to be fair, that never even get a look in. So I'm not saying, I mean, you've just to look at what's his face. He actually won, didn't he, top score? JKA actually beat Mbappe and was the top scorer when they won the under 21s or whatever it was. Because I remember doing a video saying, listen, mate, he outscored Mbappe, mate. You know what I mean, mate? And then look how that one went. So, so yeah, look, he has pedigree to an extent in playing for the under 21s at French, and we know how good they are. Fellow Leeds fan Tom Carnduff, I can't really share this with you because he has put a video alongside it. What I'm going to do is retweet that. If I put the video, my video will get taken down. So what I would say, if you want to see the video that I'm going to talk about, obviously, I mean, the goal's special. The goal is special. Tom Carnduff said, look, Leeds interested in move for Hoffenheim's Georginio Rutter. Tell you what I'll do, I'll pause it on let's pause it on the position that he takes the strike from, and you can get a look at that. Right, okay. So this video I've just retweeted as well if you want to go get a look at that. Listen, there's over 500 people, so if you haven't already, please do smash a like on the video. So he actually scores from this position here. So that's some goal, right? And you can imagine, I mean, if you can bring us stuff like that, I'm all over it. So Leeds interested in move for Hoffenheim's Georginio Rutter, according to Sky Germany. The 20-year-old is a regular in the Bundesliga, 2 goals and 2 assists across his 11 starts this season, 8 goals and 4 assists in the previous campaign. And there are a lot of people that look at it and say, oh, crap numbers, etc. But I will bring it back to that point. It is so hard to score goals. And this myth of a 20-goal a season striker doesn't exist. I remember doing this in the summer when we actually looked at the players that had scored over 20 goals over the past few seasons. You were only talking about your Harry Kanes, etc. And no disrespect, we're never getting one of them, are we? So unless he comes through the academy. So yeah, even my good friend Oscar knows his ball as well. Oscar said Rutter has got plenty of traits to make an impact in this team. Good in the air, strikes the ball well with both feet, has the confidence, ability to take on his man with the ball, and works hard in the press, which is huge for Leeds United. He's still raw in certain areas of his game, but good potential. Jared says, we're getting Traore, Joe. No, never were. I don't want him. Terrible. Yeah, he's not the one for us. Definitely not. Right, okay. We're going to shoot over now to... That's the wrong article. We want Graham Smith's article. Right, okay, I've seen that one. Don't worry about that. We've seen this. I'm going to come to it. Big up to Theo with the super chat. He says, yes, Joe, hope you and the fam have had a good Christmas and New Year. Rutter is pure potential, very silky for his physical stature. Hope he can do it in the Prem. Yeah, let's hope he can, mate, because we've had a few now that we've spent big money on that maybe haven't hit the heights that we would have liked. Do you know what I mean? So even, look, Rodrigo's doing it this season. He is definitely doing that. But, 3-2 Wolves, there you go. There's a turn up for the Bucks. Kuna is having a very good game. Come on, mate. We knew that would happen, right? He would come to the Premier League and light it up. But that might not hurt as much if we go get Georginio Rutter. Do you see what I'm saying? If we don't buy anyone, it makes it worse, doesn't it? Because you're like, do you know what I mean? I'm fuming because we haven't bought anyone. They've gone and got Kuna, and now he's scoring goals. It's all about what we do. It's, of course, easy to look hard upon, or it's easier to look across when we haven't signed anyone. Of course, stick to beat the board with naturally. But if we go get someone, I'm cool with it. They can have him. Do you know what I mean? For sure. Now, I'm going to share with you now the article from the YEP. So they put together an article initially by Lee Sobot, who was just basically regurgitating what had been said by Florian Plattenberg, basically. However, Graham's then gone and done an article himself and said, because obviously what they'll have then done is now gone and fact checked it. Right, okay, so let's speak to our contacts. Is there any truth to this? You know, what's been said? That's what will have happened, right? So they're saying Leeds are in talks, not just one, they've said with the trio of transfer targets to fill their striker vacancy. This is the important thing to remember. It's a trio. So who do you think they are? For me, it's Kerkez. It's clearly Rutter. And I think maybe Shea might be in that, but he might not. He might not. But we know that he's keen on him. He is keen on him, is Victor. So Luke's just catching us live. Quick question from him all the way from Australia. Good eye. He says, where's the money coming from? Listen, there is money there. In a sense, because there was for CDK, but it has to make business sense for the football club. And I think signing someone like Rutter at his age with his potential makes sense to the board. The Middle Eastern stuff, for me, is absolute codswallop. I don't know if that phrase translates in Australia, but basically it's bullshit. I know that one will translate, but yeah, I'd imagine that's terrible. Yeah, could be something in that, Tom, as well. Yeah, I'm just guessing at this, but I know they like Guy Caress. Yeah, Matt makes a point as well about Southampton signing Orsic, so she may be available. So yeah, Graham Smith had said, look, there is a trio of transfer targets. Be interesting to find out who they were. They then just look, Florian Plettenberg of Sky Sports Germany first reported the interest in the forward, who is still only 20. And he's said to be open to a move, which is really, really positive. And then the YEP understands there are two other, as yet, unnamed targets being assessed by Leeds this month. I guess my point is I'm very, very confident now that Leeds United get a striker by 31st of January. Do you know what I mean? Because if they were to get through this month now, let's say for whatever reason Rutter falls through, God, I don't want it to, because we need to make one of these stick for once. If that does fall through, I'm confident that we'll still get someone. I forget Brent Brereton Diaz. Forget him. I'm not. Honestly, I understand a lot of people, but there is a reason he's still at Blackburn. People say, yeah, or one of the easy arguments to make is, oh, well, he's running his contract down so he can leave for free. Right, okay. But he hasn't been doing that for the last 3 years. He's been on his deal. Do you know what I mean? So why ain't no one gone for him then? He's been watched many, many times as Diaz, not just by Leeds United, by other clubs as well, and no one's pushed the button. So according to Plettenberg, the Frenchman could command a fee of between 30 to 40 million, and L'Équipe suggests that Leeds have lodged an offer around about the 30 million mark. I don't know what that equates to in pounds, euros to pounds, maybe 27 or something. I don't know off the top of my head. It's just 12 months since Rutter extended his contract, and he's 2 years into a stint at the Rhein-Neckar Arena, having moved from Rennes for a sum of 750k. What I will say as well, like Rennes clearly have a good talent pool. Rennes seem to get decent players. Who's the guy there who's playing now? Is it Dorku, who they got to replace Rafinha? Is that right? Have I said that right? Dorku, is he the one, or it might be someone else? But basically, they clearly have a good talent pool. But I mean, they've been done with that, haven't they? And they also got done with Rafinha. So maybe, yes, they've got a good talent pool, but in terms of selling, they're not the best. Make sure you check this out anyway. I really like Inside Ellen Road podcast. So last season, he brought 8 goals and 4 assists. And he has played under 21s football alongside Melier as well. And in the current campaign, he's sitting on 2 goals from 15 outings with a pair of assists. He's had 11 starts in the Bundesliga at 20-year-old as well, which is good, right? Oh, there you go. George has told us it works out at about 26. Sorry, wrong one. 26 million. There you go. He's represented by the same agency as Firmino and Joel Linton, both who made moves to the Premier League. So that's going to be another, feather in the cap. And look, there you go. The Whites are hopeful of getting a forward in as soon as possible in order to avoid any late drama in the transfer window. Obviously, when we had the issues with Bamba Dieng and Cody Gakpo, who's now at Liverpool. What else is there? Talking there about Vorba, and he's in the mix for a start against Cardiff. Junior Firpo. Yeah, there's no mention of a left back there either. So I think it will just be Vorba, striker, and if something else becomes available. No, Jack, it is just guesswork. But I would say, for me, Victor Gyökeres is one. And I think Shea. But again, I might be wrong. Rutter, you're the best thing since sliced bread with butter, says Tom. There you go. You're a poet and you didn't even know it there, mate. I'm impressed with that. So, Transfermarkt put together an article, and there's also been this one done, which we're going to read through, all right? This was done by Manuel Veth on Forbes. You only get 4 free articles, so it must be pretty decent. So we'll have a read through, right? I've seen this get tweeted out. So let's check it out. I'm conscious that I've got a few notifications on Twitter, so I don't want to miss anything. Just give us a sec, just in case anyone's tagged me in anything. Someone saying not for me. Already too similar to what we already have. Yes. Yeah, no, nothing new. Nothing new. Right, let's go and check this article. I'll retweet this as well if you want to see it for yourselves, but we'll go through it now. So, Georginio Rutter to Leeds United, 30 million is a win-win situation, 39.40. Mega deal for Hoffenheim. According to Transfermarkt, the Bundesliga side is set to sell the French forward Rutter for around 37 million to Premier League side Leeds United. The report further suggests that the entire package could break Leeds United's record deal for Brendan Aronson. Obviously, it touches on there Joel Linton and Firmino, who have gone on to have great careers. Let's not, kid. Rutter's imminent departure would also explain why Hoffenheim has recently signed Danish striker Dolberg on loan from Nice, who is someone that I wouldn't have minded. I do like Dolberg whenever I've seen him play for Denmark, but they've brought him in, which means they'll probably be happy to move Rutter on, so that makes sense as well. Hoffenheim already had 6 players under contract that could man the 2-man attack that the head coach prefers. So he's available, right? The transfer also makes sense for Leeds. Only at a second glance, only 14th in the Premier League. Leeds have struggled under head coach Jesse Marsh, but goals have not exactly been an issue. If you can add more to that, we'll score more than you. Let's just go with that till end of season and then get some more defensive additions in. There you go. In fact, the 25 goals scored this season is the second most of any side in the bottom 10 of the Premier League. Obviously, we have Nonto, Rodrigo, we've got Sinisteri, add him into the mix as well. It's going to be exciting times. Let's see what they've got to say about him. Right, here we go. However, can Rutter add that necessary depth? The 20-year-old French forward is extremely talented, fast. Someone asked earlier on, does he have pace? That's a point. So he's extremely talented, fast, and has an enormous shot from distance. One of the video clips, by the way, and I will retweet it, the techers to get the assist is a sight to behold. Genuinely, it's very, very good. Rutter has also managed just 2 goals and 2 assists in 15 Bundesliga games this season. There are certain key elements that Rutter can offer that have become important to Marsch's style of play. Whether it was New York Red Bull, Salzburg or Leipzig, first and foremost, Rutter provides chaos and loves one-on-one situations. According to Y-Scout, which we know Victor Orta uses, okay, the Frenchman attempted 10.37 dribbles per 90 this season, significantly more than Nonto and Rodrigo. So he's going to give us a bit of that, right? And just think of how impressed, right? So let's think about Willan Nonto. Every time he gets the ball, he gives you that thing of something's going to happen. He's always cutting in. He did a few nice meg nuts against West Ham actually at the weekend. Now, when I think of Nonto, I think of him getting the ball and he dribbles. Well, in terms of the statistics, Rutter dribbles more than him during a 90 game. You know what I mean? So that's a positive, right? Jamie says he's extremely direct running, direct dribbles. Rutter is also more proactive in the attack than his potential new teammates. He's successfully completed 7 attacking actions per 90. Again, more than Nonto and Rodrigo. The big question mark, however, remains goals. Rutter scored just twice for Hoffenheim this season, the same amount as Nonto, who has significantly less playing time. What I would say in response to that, though, as well, right, and I've said this before when I was talking about Shea yesterday and stuff, sometimes, this might sound proper mad, it probably does, I probably shouldn't say it, but your striker sometimes can be a facilitator, right? Of course, you want them to chip in with goals as well, but can also be a facilitator for those around him as well. So maybe it's a case of Rodrigo finds the back of the net because that's what he's doing at the minute. Do you know what I mean? Davis says, did you say Megnuts? Yeah, I do like Brad Bobley. Let's get back to the article. The lack of productivity in the Bundesliga should in fact be a significant concern, but it could also be a driving force behind the transfer. Despite the fee paid, the move from Hoffenheim to Leeds is at best a parallel move for Rutter and could even be described as a small step down. Now, I've run out of thing and I've got a tickly throat. Let's not forget that Rafinha was playing in the Champions League for Rennes. So you could argue that would have been a step down. Well, it was. Not in terms of club stature, etc. And the Premier League's huge. But look at what that sideways step did for him. Or even backwards. Let's say backwards. Coming out of the Champions League into, the English League. We can debate that. But let's say, well, he dropped out of the elite European competition. So, yeah. So that's the dream you have to sell to these players for me. That's Victor's job. And I think he's very good at it. I do. He goes on to say in the article, Manuel Veth, who is the host of the Bundesliga Gegenpressing podcast and the area manager USA at Transfermarkt, so he knows his ball. He's also published in The Guardian, Newsweek, Howler, Pro Soccer USA, and several other outlets. Follow him on Twitter. We'll click Manuel Veth in a minute because there's no doubt he's probably speaking about him on his Twitter feed as well. But it says, nonetheless, this is a win-win situation. Leeds will add more depth to their attack, signing a player with potentially big upside. Hoffenheim once again earns a significant fee without losing a key player. And Rutter could benefit in a new environment under an attacking-minded head coach. So there you go. Here he is on FB Ref. If you have a look who he's similar to statistically. Oh, look. My guy. It's my guy, Shea. But even some of them, like I know I've said before, everyone would take Watkins. Breland Bolo, who I know someone, Phil Hayes, mentioned before in the past, and I really like Breland Bolo as well. You've got Mickey Antonio, Brian Mbuemo, Kolo Muani as well. Obviously played in the World Cup for France, almost got the winner for him if it weren't for a great save by Martinez. So some great names there as well. And if we have a look here, so these are his numbers. Obviously, last season managed 8 goals and 2 assists. This season, 2 goals and 2 assists in 15 appearances, with only 11 of them being starts. But listen, obviously, clearly well thought of because he only played 4 times for Rennes before getting his move to Hoffenheim. And, you've seen his appearances increase and decent positions in the Bundesliga as well. So I think he definitely adds something to us. I think that goes without saying. This is his stuff on Transfermarkt, which there isn't too much information on there, really, to be fair. But yeah, look, it sounds like it's one that's close and one that could definitely, happen, to be fair. So I'm quite positive about it. I'm just having a look on there. Just making sure I haven't missed. What I want to do, though, is go check that guy's Twitter. Let's have a look. Manuel Veth. Let's see what he's saying. Might have to drop him a DM, see if we can get him on. 1 hour ago. Give me a sec, folks. Sorry, I'm just having a look through. Sorry, folks. I know I don't normally have silences. I'm just having a look. It's just him talking about that article. Right, okay. No worries. It's just his article that he's tweeted, which I've just read. So that's cool. Great guns. Okay, so there's a few people that have asked him questions. So Bundesliga board, just a Twitter account, says shitload of money for a player of his caliber. Manuel Veth says too much in my opinion, but if Leeds wants to spend it, Hoffenheim will happily take it. I don't know if that's a positive for us or not. The fact that he's maybe saying it's a little bit too pricey, but you get what you pay for, in my opinion. Then again, we did spent 25 million on on Dan James, didn't we? Someone says, so why are we paying 39 then? Just one sec. Premier League teams often pay overvalue because clubs from other European leagues are aware of the amount of TV money available. Hoffenheim simply said, this is the price, and if you don't pay, we will happily keep him. At which point the club have gone, right, okay, we'll pay it then, you know? And I know cue the Raisdale kind of chitter-chatter, but I want to see us go out and do that. You know what I mean? Lervish says Rutter is more rubbish. How do you know? I want you to qualify your statement, bro. Tell me why, and you can give us your opinion. Someone's tweeted this out, and it does look quite nice. To be fair, let's have a look. Are you ready? We are starting to see the change, folks. See, I mean, that looks nice, right? It's improving. When you see it like that, it's improving. Do you know what I mean? That 4-2-2 that he likes to play. You've got Aronson missing from that as well. Joffy, etc. But it looks for me like it's looking good, right? Nice. It is a team. It is a team, isn't it? Next season, you had some more in the summer because the board's gone. We're starting to look pretty, man. Actually seeing that has proper whet my appetite. Like I'm looking at it, go, oh yeah, Steve Brown. Don't forget Cini. Got Cini there as well. You know, we were talking about them young players earlier as well. Somerville's one. Don't forget Somerville's one of them. So next time you criticise Orta, remember some of these youngsters that he's brought in for next to nothing. Look stronger, just need to keep building. Exactly that, you know? Exactly that. You know, it's positives. There was one, I just want to address something as well. I don't know if it was like, I thought we were skint. Again, I don't know how this deal will be structured. I don't know where the money's coming from, but it's done because it's a smart business decision. You know, for them to bring a player in who, in their opinion, will go for, you know, maybe double what they've paid for him. I think that's something what we have to, you know, remember, definitely. Yeah. I think I've rumbled on enough, haven't I? I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that we need to cover. Right, get your questions in, folks. I think that's all my notifications boxed off, all my bookmarks that I like to bookmark. So I'm just gonna see what's this. Sorry. Oh, that is some finish. I'll show you this still here as well. One sec. I'll show you this. Big up Diddley squat as well, where it's come from. But we've already seen one goal that he scores, right, from a like mad angle. Stop doing that. I've spent an hour. You're taking it away from me now, you bellends. One sec. I'll make it bigger, that'll be better, won't it? Right, okay. One sec. Must be like watching paint. Right, this. Get this strike. Both footed as well, right? So if you remember that first little still that I sent you, that I showed you, was from the left-hand side with his right boot. Here he is here, and he scores from this position into the top bins. Do you know what I mean? Proper top binnage. There is one, though, right, when he goes on a proper maze up, and it is quite special. I don't know who's tweeted that out, but I'm going to retweet them when I find them in my bookmarks. So if you've got me on Twitter, if you go there, you'll see them because I've retweeted them. So there is some lovely goals scored by him. So I think it's a massive. I don't think any of us anticipated this, did they? You know, even me, I was thinking along the lines of Shea Adams. You know, even Max Vorber wasn't the most like, well, it was just a bit rubbish, wasn't it? If we're being honest. But then again, defenders are. But this proper excites you when you see him cutting in from either wing, smashing him in the back of the net from, edge of the box straight in the top bins. It gets you going, you know what I mean? It wets your whistle. So yeah, I wouldn't take Rutter on a free, says Lervish. Well, there you go. That's why you're not running a football club, mate. And that's why I'm not either. It wasn't like a dig, but yeah, our Sherpa says Shay Adams. No, but there's not wrong with Shay Adams, man. I keep telling yous, man. Keep telling yous. Will you just not listen? I'm only joking. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, aren't they? But listen, give me Rutter. If true, Rutter, it shuts me up with my opinion on the board. We need it. I'm not sure it does that, but it's a positive, isn't it? It's a positive. It is a positive. He could be the next Mbappe or Dembele. I don't rate Dembele, me. Everything good's tea to green, but then assists and goals, I'm not too sure. I don't listen. Maybe people have seen a lot more of him than me. Just ask Oscar, he loves Barcelona. Joe, would you rather a left back DM and another cheap striker or Rutter? I would rather 3 additions, bro. Definitely, for sure. But yeah, I prefer 3 players just to foolproof everything, but we still need a striker. Maybe he's not the right profile. I don't know. I've not seen him. That's what I'm saying. A lot of it's coming from YouTube clips, which is always great. But also, like, just from reading articles and what we've done tonight, right? But Chris says it's got La Soga written all over it. Joking, but yeah. Get in the box, you fat man. I love that video, man. He just puts it in the back of the net. Yeah. I think we played Sheffield United for my mate's birthday, Sean, and we went in the, the hospitality, had suits on and that. And he came in after the game. It was Sheffield United because they beat us. And he came in, he was shocking. And he came in afterwards, and his mum were there. You could tell she was German, like proper German get up, if that is such a thing. Just like leather jacket. I don't know, she was just German. And me and my mate, he said all the Soggers out. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think when you're young and you would just go over anyway, but like I wasn't going over for a pitch because I was fuming with him. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm 34, but like, should I really be asking for pictures? Yeah, but I don't care. But like, if I seen Click, for example, I'd be like, oh, Mateus. I mean, I cried over for Bielsa, for God's sake, so how can I say anything? But yeah, I remember just seeing him and being like, yeah. But he did score that goal, didn't he? I tell you, I really, really, really rated Antonucci, man. Antonucci. Do you remember that goal against Burnley? Was it Burnley? I think we drew 1-1. My memory's terrible. But yeah, it was a great goal. Antonucci. He looked cool as well, didn't he? He looked cool, did Antonucci, proper Italian. But then again, he was one of them sick note 6, weren't he, under Cellino and all that sort of stuff. And that's where Berardi got his cult status, you see, because Berardi said, I'm not doing that. I'm not about that life. Do you know what I mean? I'm not about that life. I'm not one of them scummers, in a sense. Yeah, do you remember? This is how bad it was. The Warrior, Belushi. And everyone were going mad. Oh, wow, we've signed the Warrior. He was horrible, weren't he? Do you remember when he tried that fucking overhead kick against Borough? Was it against Borough? The ball's going on. He just tries an overhead kick. That is what we've been dealing with. An overhead kick. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't have a go at Cooper. At least he's not fucking trying overhead kicks. I wonder if that's on YouTube, man. I wonder if I can get a still. If people who don't know that, if people who don't know about that, it's comical. I think he did it twice as well, man. Let's have a look. Overhead, Lucy overhead press, overhead squat. It must be a. There must be a muscle one. Belushi overhead kick. Let's have a look. Best ever overhead kicks. It's definitely not in that. It's definitely not in that. Oh, it's not on YouTube anyway. I'll put Leeds, see if that brings it up. No, it's not. Oh, that's a shame. It is so funny. The ball's just coming over, and the overhead kick's a sight to behold. It's funny, man. It's funny. I swear he did it twice as well. Belushi, man, the warrior, the Italian warrior. Absolute bell pipe he was. Listen, we've done an hour. We've had 600. That's amazing, you know. It is. He did stabilise the club, though. You got to give the Italian madman some credit. He did sell us, didn't he, to Rads and got us into that position, if you like. Yeah, I hear you. He was just an absolute. I don't want to get myself into bother, but he liked. You call it Jemba? No, Jemba. I know he used to play for Man United, but Jemba. Tackle. As pure as the driven white snow, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I remember listening to, if you haven't listened to it, I think it's David Norris on Under the Cosh. They would go see him at a specific time of the day because they knew he would be away with it. Yeah, because someone tried to put cameras in toilets, didn't they? Wow, mad. And he was running the football club. So yeah, okay. There's little bits, but yeah, he was a crazy guy. But listen, better times, Premier League now, Premier League. So thanks all for watching. Yeah, amazing. Smash a like on your way out. After this as well, I'm going to set up the stream. I'm going to be live from 1 o'clock tomorrow. Now, I know the Leeds versus Cardiff game is on. Oh, I thought I'd lost my nose piercing then. I was going like, is on terrestrial TV. It is on ITV, right? So I know you're all going to be watching it. Them outside of England, maybe not. But if you do that, know that ITV's coverage is shocking. They'll probably have Robbie Savage. They'll probably have Martin Keown on comms. It'll be minging. So if you're watching, mute them and listen to me. Easy to match the time up because I'll have my timer here. You'll be able to see your timer on the screen. Pause me, get the time, bam, go. And then I'm commentating on what you're seeing. Do you know what I mean? It'd be great if you could do that. Just to stay with us. So yeah, it will be though, right, Lauren? Like, you do not want to be listening to like, there's certain commentators that just grind me, and Keown's one of them, and then Savage is definitely one of them. Put them together, and it's like, oh my god, my ears. So yeah, please join me for that. Smash a like on the video on your way out. I'm really grateful for you all being here. We've had like 600 people, which is crazy for me. Crazy for me. So if you are new, please do subscribe to the channel as well. Robert Harrison, if you're still here, thank you. I got your email, mate, so we'll have a little chat. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. I'll send you my logo, convert it for me. I'm not sure on the size I need. They keep asking me for the size. I don't know. Like, I know you can't see here, but I don't know. What size do I need? I don't know. What? No, Ollie, I won't be behind though. You just pause it, man. You can get it. I don't know. You know, I'm not good at DIY. Hence, you can see. Oh, there you go. Katie says, I have no choice. Andy D always has you on. There you go. There you go. It's a family affair, Katie. It's a family affair. Good tune, that, by the way. It's a family affair. Chris says, same size as that slab head. Who? Is there someone else in this video? Okay, it can't be me. I used to get called Big Head, actually, by my brother and his mates. Do you know what one of them called me? Which I thought was quite classic. Here's one for essay head. Why? Because I could fit an essay on my forehead. I thought I liked that one. Essay head. Essay head. Yeah, there you go. Is what it is. So I need the size because I'm having my logo done behind me. Do you know what I mean? Like there. Still don't. Yeah, so there, and it'll be lit up so that it'll like give decent lighting off and all that. Bullet holes give you a clue of size. You have to bullet holes. I'm in the mean streets of Sunderland, bro, so you need to watch out around here. Graham says it's about 8 inch. That big? Yeah, not bad there, have you? About 3, me. Stop. This is a family show. So Ollie will just pause it for a little bit longer, man. I'm trying to help you out here. What do you want me to do? Come round your house and just do it in your front room? Lavish Lurvis says, Marsha's relegated us. I'll tell you now, yeah, and I'm not his biggest fan, right? Leeds United will not get relegated. They will not get relegated this season. Not happening. I'm almost going full rads on you now, yeah? I'm going full rads on you. It is impossible. What? What? It is impossible. We will be in relegation. Definitely not. Joe, get some filler in that shot up wall. I know I will do, yeah? Mark says just get an app. Yeah, no worries, Ollie. I'm only playing anyway. I will come to your house, though, and sit in your front room if you want. I'll bring my lighting and that. Right. That looks like about 20 inch. Can you just imagine like that? Yeah, about 20 inch size, yeah, sorted, Joe. I get it, and it'll just be it's like real light. That's what I'm worried about. I almost want to say to them, will you come to my house? Because I'm terrible with DIY, right? And I'll give them some measurements. You'll all be going, Joe, man, when you get in your light? And I'll be like, can you not see it? This little badge. With the, I might as well just stand there with my lighter on. You're getting the lighting. Yeah, bad. Tell you what, though, look at this. Are you ready? Oh, you can't see it, can you? No, you can't see it. Go. Oh, there you go. Probably should have brought that further down so you can see it. If anyone's got epilepsy, turn away now. Put the blue one on. I like the blue one. Oh, I've turned it on. Hang on. And do you know what happened though, right? Listen to this. So I bought that to go round. Yeah. Oh, Chris, don't talk to me about Mr. Perry. That guy, you know, now as an adult looking back, I hated that guy. That guy kicked me out of his class for the last 3 years of my time at school. For the first 2 years, I had Mr. Trent, and then I got moved to Mr. Perry, and I was never allowed in the class for former. I hated him. And I've heard, says Chris, yeah, well, your brother was in my year, one in my, yeah, so, yeah, I was not the best behaved at school. I will say that much, but listen, is what it is. In certain classes I was, because certain teachers were sound. Him, like, it's one of them that I look back now and I think, you let me down. Now, I'm not saying my behavior was acceptable at times, but I was a child, right? So for me, like, if you are a teacher, like it's to find out why a child is behaving in that way. Do you know what I mean? Not just get out of my class. You're a nuisance. I can't deal with you, so I'm just going to get rid of you. It's not right. Do you know what I mean? Because it's why is it? What's going on that's making you behave that way? Jack says, welcome to therapy. Well, listen, mate, you know I'm a deep thinker. You do know this. We've gone on many a tangents before on this show. But yeah, it is what it is. There you go. I've lived in isolation at school, says Ollie. I hear it, bro, man. I hear it. Yeah. Me and my brother, man, because this what made me laugh as well, right? Sorry to go on to this, but this I was coming back from Hamsterley Forest. I went to Hamsterley Forest today with the kids, It was really good. Took the dogs, really cool. Anyway, I'm driving back, and on the radio it came on saying Harry is doing a tell-all, and it's been revealed that William pushed him. And I was like going, why is this news? I have 3 brothers, yeah? 4 of us in total, yeah? Single parent family, yeah? 4 boys, right? We used to kick the shit out of each other. I'm not even joking. Our David once chased me with the golf club. You know, this is the kind of stuff that... and I'm thinking, they're making a news article that his brother pushed him. More so, why the hell's Harry grassing on his brother to the press? Because it's like, there's brothers. Do you know what I mean? You fall out. Like, can you imagine, like, oh, me now going to the press saying my brother chased me with a gun? Like, this is just families. Do you know what I mean? This is just... I'll tell you a funny story, right, while I'm at it. Chris, if you'll remember, Mr. Chappell. Mr. Chappell had a wonky leg. Sorry, he had one shoe bigger than the other, like a club foot kind of thing. And he was the music teacher. Anyway, me and my brother were arguing. I was 2 years above it, no, a year above him. We were arguing. I was with my schoolmates and I was going, get away, you scruff, or whatever. And he threw a pizza at me. And I had a white shirt on, yeah, sat in the canteen. And smashed the pizza on me. So I had red, like, all over me. So I went, right, I'm going to get him. So I chased him around the school, right? Caught up with him, gave him some beatings, yeah? Then he chased me, right? Because that's what brothers do, right? And then I've gone, oh, no, he's going to get me, right? So then he chased me. And we ran, yeah? And where Mr. Chappell's music hall was, Sorby Bridge it was, where Mr. Chappell's music hall was, he ran through and they had these double doors, yeah? So I've shut the double doors behind me, yeah? And my brother's come and booted the double doors and it just went smashed, right? We've both looked at each other and then ran off together. Do you know what I mean? No. So it was literally like a Tom and Jerry sketch. He threw a pizza at me, I've chased him, beatings, he's chased me, and then he's ended up smashing a window and we've both looked at each other and gone, we better get out of here. Done one together. Do you know what I mean? We both got suspended, but it is what it is. But that's what the point I'm making is, though, that's what brothers are like, right? There might be some people watching this going, what? But that's what you're like with your brothers, man. Do you know what I mean? So to think that Harry is doing an article on his brother pushing him, like, get a grip. Get a grip. I'm not into it, but I just heard it and I thought, like, you can imagine Will being like, yo, Philip or Harry, why are you being a grass? Do you know what I mean? That's what I'd be doing. Like, I won't be going, you little grass. I won't be like, it's just mad. It's mad. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Exactly, mate. Like, it's just silly. I'm not like, it's mad, innit? Yeah, grassing on your brother for pushing you. Like, come on, silly. Anyway, we've rambled on enough. We've had a bit of therapy, a bit of royalty, and a bit of my school's school life. Thanks as always for watching. Smash a like on your way out, yeah? Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And join me tomorrow, about 1 o'clock. Benny, don't, man. Benny, that's not my fault, bro. Right, I'm off. Bye. Enjoy your evening, man. Love yous. Thanks.